Okay. And yeah, it's starting. Okay, perfect. So, hi, Celine. Welcome. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to have this interview. Um, can you just start off by telling us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, so my name is Celine, and I was studying MA VR and AR in Goldsmiths. It's now Department of Computing. Yeah, and I don't know how much I should give. So my background was in film and TV production when I was doing uni, and then I just kind of want to learn more about like different ways of storytelling and then different technology. So I went into VR and AR afterwards. Yeah.
Oh, nice. And when you did the masters, what was your research about on the master's course?
Oh, you mean like the final research project
Yeah,
thing?
yeah.
Yes, so at that time I was like looking whether I should do a research project or whether I should do an intern. So I was searching a range of different sort of use in VR and like VR in different industry. And I
Hmm.
was really into like the idea of utilizing VR in like medical use of psychotherapy thing.
Hmm.
So by introduced by like my tutor, Sylvia, that I was having this chance to talk to professors from Oxford about this research project they're doing, and then discovering whether there's any chance that we can work on a new project. So then um, we were having a collaborating project that it's about trying to use VR to help smoke cessation therapy, and more specifically, Q-exposure therapy.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
yeah,
Oh, that's incredible. So, that I imagine was the paper that got submitted into the IEEE conference. So, big
yeah,
congratulations for that
thank you.
achievement. Could you tell us a bit about the conference? What is it, and how did you feel, when you attended?
Right, so actually I've been always like hearing about it and everything. I didn't really know how big it was.
Hmm.
And all the way till I think even after I submitted it, I still wasn't really realizing, oh, okay, this is like a really big thing. And then there are a lot of people in the VR industry or in the VR research sort of area or in this conference, all the way till that we actually got, because it was like 2 or 3 round of submission and then got accepted. And then my tutor Sylvia, she was like, oh, by the way, that you're going to be presenting. I was like, oh, right. So it's like, okay. And then she's like, yeah, so you're gonna get registered and then you're gonna go into this and then you're gonna present, like have like slides and then present your research. I was like, okay, cool. And then I started looking into it and realized there are like a range of many different VR research related thing. All these papers from different directions, from technical part, from like the more sort of theory based part, that all put into this conference. And what we were was just, and what I did was just like a poster. It was like fairly short. It was like a 2 pages poster,
Hmm.
and it was luckily got accepted. And but it was also a chance for me to kind of see other people's like larger research projects, like actual paper thing. And yeah, and this year I don't know about the previous years because I wasn't in, and it's just this year I think they were supposed to be in New Zealand, but then probably because of COVID it was all online. So we all attended online through Zoom, through Verbella. It's like a sort of, it's like a platform that I believe is probably for education or like activity thing, is that you can enter through web version. I think you probably can also enter through VR. I'm not entirely sure, but because I use a web version, it's just easier so I can have different things at the same time. And then they build up like a whole sort of exhibition hall that have different stands for people, and then people just standing right in front of their poster slides, and then you can go over. And the interesting thing is when you enter each person's booth,
Hmm.
you kind of switch into like a private chat. So you can
Okay.
only hear the person who's stepping to your booth when you're in your booth, but when you're outside your booth, you can hear everyone. So it's kind of like in real life when people come to your booth, then you're chatting, but at the same time, in the web version, in this like virtual version, then you can kind of block people outside so you can hear only your sound, your voice. And I thought that was quite interesting.
Yeah, it sounds like a really unique experience as well to have it online and then through to have that kind of feature as well. So, in terms of your paper getting submitted, how did you feel when you heard the news that it was submitted?
Um, you mean like when it was submitted or when it was got like getting accepted?
Sorry, accepted, yes.
Yeah, it's just like because when I obviously when I'm putting submitted, I was like writing it up and everything. So I submitted and I was like, oh, I'm not sure when it's gonna get in because like what I did was like a super sort of preliminary, like really early sort of thing. It's not even like a preliminary study, it's just like a very early research based on just seeing whether what we think that VR can help, whether VR can actually be used as a tool,
Okay.
like the effectiveness of this. So it's like a very early on sort of research. And I wasn't really sure whether this is gonna make it. But then luckily we got accepted. I think there probably weren't that much um, paper posted around this kind of specific topic. So yeah, I was just like I was very happy and it kind of want like motivated and inspired me. Maybe I want to do something more in the future. Yeah, but we never know.
That's great. That's really great. And it does sound like a very unique niche as well, because I haven't heard of anything to do with VR aiding medical and that kind of scientific research. So it does sound like a very interesting paper and very interesting thesis. So in terms of you mentioned the future. What are your, if you'd like to share with us, what are your future plans, whether it's going into further academia or whether working?
Right, so I'm currently working actually in a gaming studio, and that's like because so throughout the research project I was doing, I discovered because for the research project, the aim for that was that we can simulating like the reality, make like a simulation, so make things more kind of I wouldn't say realistic, but more like believing and immersive as possible.
Okay.
And so what I was doing was I recruited like actors and actresses, and then we used motion capture technique to like go through to sort of kind of give the characters a bit more sort of realistic kind of feeling. So the gestures, the animations, and everything like that. So then afterwards, I realized I'm kind of interested in seeing how we can build this character avatar thing in the virtual world in VR or in games. So that's where my passion is, I think, at the moment. So what I'm doing now in the gaming studio is also something related. So focusing on like avatar system and character animations. And obviously this is like a huge area and I want to like get more experience with it
Mhm.
and then more techniques about all these things. And so that's what I'm gonna be focusing on at the moment. And but I do feel like I want to perhaps in the future go into academia at some point because as I say I'm like really interested in VR as like in the use of like medical psychology and this kind of thing. And for that I think at this stage is more just like research stage rather than a business side of thing.
Mhm.
So if I do want to learn more about it, I'll probably choose to do a little bit more research, but that's for probably another 5 years or something. Because I just think like I should still first get into like working like, and then get experience and see what's the thing that I'm actually passionate about, and then come back to think whether I want to do more sort of academia stuff. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well, yeah, you have a lot of options and there's a lot of time, so you'll see what's right for you. And if
Yeah.
working at the moment is right, then that's good. So talking about the future for your paper as well, do you know what happens now after that it's been accepted?
Uh, as like the paper itself or the research.
Yeah, so the paper, what happens because now the IEEE conferences is finished,
Yeah.
and they've accepted your paper. So what would they do with that? Do you know?
I'm actually not very sure about that part, to be really honest with you. I should probably find out. Because I was like, yeah, I did submit it, right? And it was on the website. It was like the scheduling thing they put out. It's like, oh, this poster and everything. And
Yeah.
yeah, I did wonder where it's gonna go afterwards. I should probably find that out. I would maybe they putting somewhere, but I just don't know where exactly at the moment.
Okay,
Yeah.
no problem. It's just that it would be good to show our current students as well who are
Hmm.
studying the MA or who are thinking of studying the MA, some previous students' work that have been submitted and accepted into conferences like the IEEE. It would just be a good reference. So if you ever do find out, feel free to send it my way as well.
Yeah, sure, totally. We'll do that.
Yeah. So in relation to the course that you did, the master's course that you did at Goldsmiths, how did you find the course in general?
It was really good. It was like I wouldn't say I was expecting that exactly before I started. I mean, partly it was my fault. Like I was expecting it to be something kind of because as I say, I have a background in film and TV, and
Hmm.
I was passionate about VR because I thought that's like another storytelling way. So I
Hmm.
thought it's gonna be like that. And obviously we did also have like theory stuff and then all those thinking and um like sort of like what's that called, like modules, but then we also do a very practical skill learning stuff,
Hmm.
both from coding side and then from like modeling, animation, 3D stuff. So really that I was, to be really honest, struggling a lot at the beginning
Hmm.
because when I started it, we started last year, no, 2020, yeah, September 2020, I think, yeah. And that time it was, all like lockdown and everything. So
Yeah.
everyone was at home and I was actually looking at my computer every day, don't know what I was doing. And I was like, I just need some help. I don't know how to start this. And I was struggling a lot, but I was really lucky that we've got classmates to talk to and realizing that everyone's kind of struggling at the same way. It kind of make you feel better because everyone's on the same boat with you.
Hmm.
And but all the like the teachers are like really helpful that you can just ask them questions and everything. And at some point I feel like perhaps remote was like easier for them to offer help because they can literally just control your computer and show you what what should be done. And then I think it was past the second, no, at the middle, around second term, I started to feel like, okay, I actually know now what I am doing and what I can sort of build with these things. And more
Hmm.
importantly, like after that, we start to like research project or like other people do interns, you kind of use that skill, put into practice and put to actual word that like actual work that you can either you're distributing the company or whether you are doing your own research, that sort of thing.
Hmm.
I think it's like a pretty comprehensive sort of process, I'd say. Yeah,
Oh,
so you gotta get both like skill set that no matter which direction you want to go to, at least you've got the basic. Yeah.
that's good. That's good that they cover a broad range of different topics that you can learn and then utilize in different fields. That's
Yeah.
excellent. And I think most people do struggle in the first few months of a new
Yeah.
course or anything. So don't worry, don't stress. You, like you said, you weren't the only one.
Mhm.
But yeah, what would you say was your most memorable or favorite part of the course then?
Mm, I would say it's actually kind of like the teamwork part of the course because we all have to, obviously you can develop your own thing, but then we were also doing like what's that called, like team project.
Hmm.
And then you'll see people pitching different ideas, and especially in VR and AR, I would say you would have thought that is something like very kind of niche and everything, but then you'll gradually realize because everyone who came for this course, they are all from different background, like fairly different background, and everyone's like into different part of this industry, and then you kind of like broaden your horizon. You'll be like, okay, actually, we can also do that. We can also do this, and then when you team up with people who have similar interests, they still have like different sort of contribution towards it. Be like, oh, I think this can take to this direction, this can take to that direction, and then it just kind of make you realize how big and how much kind of possibility that you are getting from this. And I would say it's quite a diverse sort of experience that you're getting. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's great. And like you said, people come from all different backgrounds, and then to get to actually communicate with them and pick ideas from different people, it can be a very unique experience, and it can help enhance in the way you look at things. So
Definitely.
that's great that the course brought that for you. Would you say that Goldsmiths has helped you in your future endeavors?
As like careers you refer
Yeah.
to, or
It could be career-wise, or it could be even via submitting your paper and things like just different ways. Any way do you think that
yeah,
Goldsmiths actually impacted and helped in your future endeavors?
definitely. Like I didn't really talk much outside like the department or like any other sort of direction. I mainly talk with my um like supervisors, which is like my tutor, as I mentioned, Sylvia. So yeah, she was being really, really helpful throughout the whole sort of process. That when I need some sort of suggestion, when I need like recommendation from like what sort of career and like industry that I could possibly get into, she'll offer the help. And then she was also like, for instance, the paper, it was, I think it was her like trying to actively push me towards the direction. I
Oh,
was more laid back, be like, should I do this, should I not? But then she was like, have you considered doing this, have you thinking about doing that? And I'm like, yeah, sure. Because seeing people around you are like really motivated all the time, you feel like you're motivated as well.
yeah, yeah.
So yeah, and I feel like I've always have someone to talk to if I need any sort of professional advice at any stage throughout the studying and even after the studying. So I would say, yeah, I really get a lot of help from that.
Oh, that's great. I'm so happy to hear that you got a lot of support from your tutor,
Yeah.
and yeah, that they pushed you.
Yeah.
Even on the days you didn't want to push yourself. No, that's great. So what would you say to anyone who's thinking about going on to the master's course that you did, or just a master's course in general at Goldsmiths, maybe in the computing department?
Um, I'm not sure about other like course, but specifically for our course, I would say, um, like just because it's a really sort of relatively new area,
Mhm.
and people like I know a lot of people when they are getting into master degree, they would have thought that, oh, like I'm stressed because I don't know anything about it. I'm just like really interested in it, and it would put me off because everyone else know more than I do and everything. I just want to say that obviously you do want to make effort to know the industry and know what's going on, or know all this like skills that you will learn in the future before
Mhm.
you apply to it. But don't stress out too much and think that you're disqualified, because you never know what you can bring to this industry. Because you may be from like a total different background. You can be from, I don't know, business, or you can be from cryptocurrency or like whatever. Like now they are all coming together, and you just have to find. Because I would say VR and AR is like a technique. It's like a new technique. It's like computer. It's like internet. It's like a new technique that we are looking into. And I would say it kind of applies to other courses in general as well, like a new thing that you are learning. And when you are applied to it, like you come from your background and then you're just bringing your original thing into a new thing. And then obviously you're going to find a way to sort of combine them and maybe convert it into your own thing. So I
Mhm.
would say just like talk to people that in the course, or even, you know, talk to the lecturer. Maybe you can email them, and maybe they'll get back to you with like answers you want, or maybe not, but you would never know if you didn't try. And just be proactive about what you want and ask questions. And I think that way, no matter what you are thinking to sort of achieve for master degree, then you can sort of get with it. And yeah, I would say people are, especially I think in Goldsmith, it's like if you're trying to reach out to people, there's always people to come back to you, like get back to you with the answer. So all you need to do is just like, you know, trying to make that effort to reach out.
That's great. Yeah, that's really encouraging. Thank you for that. And is there anything else you'd like to add? Just in general, maybe about the paper, about the course, or just anything you'd like to say?
I guess not really, but if anyone's having any question, you know, they can always like find my contact or whatever to ask. I don't mind answering any questions, and I think that's how you learn and how you sort of get more out of people. But yeah, that's really about it, I would say.
Okay, perfect. Thank you for the words of encouragement. And again, many, many congratulations on having your paper accepted. So yeah, I wish you all the success in your industry at the moment. And yeah, it's been great talking to you, great learning about your research. And if you ever do find the paper, I would love personally to read it as well.
Okay.
I don't know where they'll be putting it. The IEEE conference will be putting it, but yeah, it sounds like an amazing futuristic, very project. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
Yeah, and if there's nothing else, then I wish you a good day.
You too. Thank you. Bye
So,
bye.
bye. Okay, we'll stop recording.